Yes, sir. And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Gurus of the Game. Tonight, I am your host, Takeover Russ. Very special occasion. Tonight, we got one of our first insiders with us. My boy Sadie Fresh. Say what's up to the world, Sid.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Where you from, Sid?
South Seattle. By the way, Seattle, Washington. You feel me? Cleveland High School alumni. Big bro.
Yeah. Big bro's in the building with us, man. Well established, well known throughout the basketball community. Insiders are just some people who are the gurus of the game that we like to bring here from time to time. That's going to enlighten y'all on some ins and outs of the games, with some of the people that they know and just some of the knowledge that they've gained over time. So excited to have my boy on tonight as an insider. Unfortunately, our co-host, Coach Chenault, man, he can't be checking in with us, man. He's going through a couple things, handling some personal business. So he will be out tonight, but the show must go on, and excited to bring you tonight's guest. Tonight's our very own RA, my boy, Rainier Beach's own, Nebraska Cornhuskers own, and Canadian Hall of Famer. We're going to be bringing him on in a second, but first, appreciate y'all tapping in with us tonight. If this is your first time checking in, Gurus of the Game. It's a show that highlights professional and former collegiate athletes, man, telling their journey and how they use the game of basketball to change their life on and off the court. This is something we do every Friday and Saturday night, or 8 o'clock or 7 p.m. Check out your local listings and check us out on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with us. But without further ado, more than excited to bring on my guy. Oh, yeah, it'll be a few more places, man. Excited to bring on my guy. Let's give it up, man, for my boy Ryan Anderson, man. Let's give it up for my boy.
Oh, my boy, clap it up. All right, clap
it up. What's up, RA?
See, Russ, what's good, bro? Sadie, what's up? How you doing, man?
What's up, Ryan?
Man, thanks for having me on the show, bro. Appreciate it. This is pretty dope, man. My boy talking like a real man, look at him pushing the buttons and stuff. I see you, bro.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. You know, each and every episode, man, we're trying to get better and better. You dig?
And he said,
man,
without further ado, he got his word tracks together and everything. I hear you. Let's go.
Yeah. Look, you in the entertainment industry, man, so I know you know a little bit about it, man. So I appreciate the compliments, my boy, because you would know if I was doing it wrong, you call me out about it.
No, you good, bro. It's good.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, we appreciate you taking out the time tonight to sit down with us, bro, and to let us know give us some insight, give us some gems about your basketball journey, and how you got to where you're at today. But first, I'd like to start off the show. Our basic question, kind of get the ball rolling, is who put the ball in your hands?
Oh man, who put the ball in my hands? I had to say, I think it was just a product of the environment, for real. Just growing up in Seattle, I think it's a thing in Seattle. I think that's what it was. Growing up in Seattle, growing in Emerson. And everybody's hooping, bro. Everybody my age, I just wanted to hoop. I seen that ball, that was it. When I touched the ball, I don't know who put it in my hand. I just think it was just, I don't know. Just picked it up at school and fell in love with the peel.
You said you fell in love with the peel?
Man, fell in love with that thing, bro. When I touched that ball, I was like, oh, this is it right here. And I felt just shooting it and watching it go through the hoop. I said, dang, this is it right here. This is what I want to do. That was it for real. Then everybody else was doing it because in Seattle, everybody's hooping, bro. My sister, my big sister, rest in peace, Deborah, she was hooping. Keela was hooping. And then I didn't really know about too much more than that. It was just, and my dad had put a hoop up for my sister in the backyard, but she never shot on it. So after I picked it up at school, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm about to go shoot at the house. My dad got one of these at home. And that was probably I was in kindergarten. I probably was 4 or 5 years old.
Was you ever going to any of your older sister's games?
Nah, man. I was into music, bro. I was playing the saxophone and stuff, taking music lessons and stuff. Hoop wasn't even like that. Not for me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, that's real. So tell us about how your first opportunity playing grade school and when you knew that basketball is something that you had really wanted to do.
So I went to Emerson Elementary School, and shout out to the gym teacher, Daryl Davis, who had a big influence on my life. He was a gym teacher there, and he would let me come to school early because when I wake up at 8 o'clock, I'll be at school way too early before they even bring the breakfast out. You know, we had that free breakfast. I was trying to get that free breakfast, and he would open up the gym and let me come in. Hold on, you want to say good? Come here, buddy. Come here. My son trying to say good night, man.
We got our first special guest, man. Who is that?
He said, "What's your name?" Don't do that. What's your name? Say Jalen.
Jalen Christian Anderson. You know what? I've been swimming dunking.
He said his name is Jalen Christian Anderson. He said he'd be slam dunking on the toy hoop.
No,
Okay,
I've
yeah.
been swimming dunking on my toy hoop. I be slam dunking on daddy too.
No, you don't be dunking on me, boy.
I be dunking.
Hey, this dude is a rascal. He wasn't even supposed to come in here. He was trying to fight to get in here. Hey, I don't want you to get in trouble, but say peace out. Just show him some love. Say peace out. All right. Love you, man. Have a good sleep, okay? Just say good night. Just say good night.
Have a good night, little bro.
He said, "Have a good night." All right.
Have a good night, little bro.
I'll see you in the morning, okay? All right. Just say hi. Just say hi. Just say hi. All right. Peace
Hello.
out. Bye. Go.
How old is he?
He just turned 4 on November 8th. All right. Bye.
Already talking about slam dunking and dunking on you and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's learning what it is now. He don't really understand. Jalen, go back over there. Hey, go over there. Daddy's doing an interview. You got to go. Oh, sorry about that. That's my little guy, man.
Yeah.
He just came in here, opened the door and all that. He was like, "I want to see Daddy." He just like that.
It's funny though, man, because some kids, I don't want to say they're born with it, but sometimes they're kind of born with it. Most 4-year-olds ain't talking about I'm saying dunking on daddy's hoop and I like to play basketball. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really force it. I was trying to force it on my son, man. Like, one thing my dad, I respect from my pops, he never did that. My dad, he was serious about that music though. My dad was very serious about the education and music. Education and music. That was like kind of what his thing was. That's what he did. That's what he knew. What was I saying though? Before my son interrupted me, I was just talking about how my gym teacher, he let me come play basketball before school started. And school started at like 9:00, but I would come at like 8:30, and he would let me shoot. And then he would play me one-on-one. This is in like kindergarten. So like after that, that's when I really knew. And I was actually good, bro. Like I could just throw the ball and it was just swish. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. This is all I want to do.
No, that's fire, man. So as you're at Emerson, you're playing the game of basketball. Do you start off like playing church league? Were you playing like reg ball, or were you just like straight off, like already into like AAU?
So no, this is what happened. It's crazy. So my uncle was my first coach at 10 years old, the Rainier Beach Hornets. And my uncle just put a team together, and it was boys and girls. So like, there's this picture. I forgot to send that to you, but it was a picture of like there was no basketball team for the kids our age in Rainier Beach area. So my uncle put the team together. It was my mom's sister's husband, and he coached the team, and we ended up winning. So like, but that was my first time playing organized basketball, but it wasn't really organized. It was just like they were just tough on us. Like the coaches were just tough. They made us run. We were some tough little kids, but we ended up winning the championship. And in the championship game, this is when I knew I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Championship game, I had the score was 28-20. We beat them. We beat them 28-20. Out of the 28 points, I had 21, and I was like, that's all I want to do. Like that's all I want to do. I hit almost all threes too, bro. It was like some threes and some free throws, and that was it. 20 points. After that, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's it. That's all I want to do. I just want to hoop. So that was my first time playing organized basketball. 10 years old with the Rainier Beach Hornets. My uncle coached the team. My cousin played with me. It was like 4 or 5 of us. And of course, everybody, as you get older, some of the guys end up playing for like Rotary. They lived in different parts of the city. Like, so as we grew up older, it's like, oh, bro, we used to play together when we were 10 years old. So like you kind of recognize some people, but that was really it. After 10 years old, I didn't really play basketball. It was just, that was it. I played it all the time, but I didn't play it organized. I didn't know how, my parents didn't know how that stuff worked. My dad, he worked 6 in the morning to 6 p.m. My mom, it was 6 of us. So my mom she didn't just make sure everybody go to school, get up, come home. She was a homemaker. She was taking care of all the kids. So nobody had time to be trying to sign nobody up for sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely be like that. Do you think things would change, or do you think you should be as good today if you kind of came up in this era with like having to like pay for trainers and the cost of going on trips and kind of having to pay to play so much? Because back then, like buying a pair of J's was a specialty. So it's like, man, kids got trainers, kids got travel fees, kids got like, you know what I'm saying, with all the incurred costs that it takes to play decent basketball.
I think them
There's a price
kids.
people out.
Some kids had that back then too, though. Grow up in Seattle, the disparity is so different. You know what I'm saying? You got the South End, you got the CD, you got your Mercer Island, you got your kids that's growing up. It's so much money up there. You know what I'm saying? Like when we was growing up, some of them kids had their parents had bread. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly I don't know. I'm a firm believer that like if you really believe in God, He gonna make a way for you, whether that's through somebody else or a friend or an uncle or a grandparent or somebody at a church or a coach. Like if you really, really had the desire for it, they'll make a way for you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will make a way. But I missed out on a lot, man. For real, I was wearing hand-me-downs from my sisters. Like my older sister, Deborah and Keela. I wore hand-me-downs for them until like middle school. Till I outgrew, till I got too tall to where I couldn't wear the stuff. My mom was like, all right, you're gonna have to call your grandma or somebody and get some help. So I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I'm glad I grew up in the era I did, and it made me who I was, bro. Especially in the area I grew up in. Like I wouldn't change nothing about how I grew up, bro. Not a thing. I wouldn't change it at all.
No, I agree. I wouldn't change nothing either. Tell us about the difference between, AAU when you was playing and like AAU, like how it is now.
Well, to be honest, like AAU back then, so how I got into AAU, I got picked up actually just shooting around at the gym by a coach. Then that coach ended up coaching the Seattle Vibe, and then the Seattle Vibe ended up merging with the Tacoma Icemen. And that's how I got into AAU. I didn't know nothing about AAU. I didn't know about the rules. I wasn't paying the fees. You know what I'm saying? Like when I could, I would. When my parents could afford it, they would like pay whatever fee it was to get in the tournaments. But man, once we got into AAU, it was really the battle between like Seattle Vibe, Iceman, and Rotary at the time, for real. That's really all I knew. And then once we got to middle school, it kind of just took off. But at the time, I was playing with the Iceman, so it was our Ice Vibe. So that was like Tacoma and Seattle combined, and that's where me and Isaiah Thomas got real close. It was like we became like best friends because we really just loved the game of basketball. So we took our best players off the Seattle Vibe team and merged it with the best players from Tacoma, like Emmanuel Jenkins, Sean Timmy, Isaiah Thomas, big white kid named Scott, and then we merged with Mecca, myself. It was Sean Henderson, but then Sean Henderson ended up going to Rotary. Um, who else was it? And there was a couple other guys, but everybody kind of fizzled out. So really ended up being like majority Tacoma players with like a few, like Walter Washington was on that team. Yeah. And then he ended up leaving, going to Rotary too. And so really that was it, really. So I was just end up being like two or three of us playing with pretty much Tacoma guys, for real.
How was in practices growing up? Like you being from South Seattle and then having to go all the way to Tacoma to hoop. Like how was how was that?
Yeah, be yourself, bro. To be honest, I'm gonna shout my boy out. So I don't know if y'all know who the coach was. His name is Jazik. Jazik is Najee's dad. At the time, I didn't know Jazik, but I met him through Dinah Ladd. So she was my teacher at Emerson. It was her first few years of teaching. She was my teacher. He was my coach, and he worked at Boeing. And he had like a Suburban, and he was able to pick up me, Mecca, like all the kids where we was at. He would pick us up and take us. Man, shout out to that dude, bro. He was taking us. Now that I got a job and family, kids and stuff, it's like, bro, he was
You
taking
talking
us
about with
every
Yazoo?
2 times, 3 times a week. He was driving to Tacoma, bro. Like all the
Yeah,
way out to like the People Center and like
that was
I don't know,
dedication.
bro, that was nuts. Now that I think about it, and then
Yeah,
dropping us all off and feeding us. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like, my parents never had to help with that part, and sometimes my dad would help with gas when he could, like give Josh some money for gas or whatever. But how was that experience, bro? It wasn't a good experience. I think that part molded me. I wasn't the fastest player. I wasn't the tallest player. Actually, when I was in middle school, I was fat. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we was in high school, see Rush used to be like, bro, why your body look like that? I was like, I don't know. It just looked like this. You feel me? I'm just chubby. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my build
Right.
type. The best way I describe it now, the game has changed so much in basketball. Like, bro, it's just Luka Doncic. You think he's not in shape? You know what I'm saying? Or my boy that beat up the Wilder, that big tall white dude from overseas, bro. He was in so much shape, but if you looked at his body, you just like, this dude ain't shape, he fat. But no, this dude, he could just keep going around. Like that was just my body type. So I realized then it didn't matter how hard I worked. I was wearing jump soles, I was jump roping, I was running heels, trying to like make my body look like how people genetically their bodies were. So I was like, oh man, I just came to the realization. I said, bro, this is just how my body looked. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how healthy I ate food. But to be honest, that experience with going out to playing with Tacoma and them guys, that made me who I was, bro. Nobody really. It was almost like when you were a shooter at that age and you really a shooter, they would just put me on the bench, bro. So they try to just bench me all the time.
Right. You were just that lethal weapon that just, you know what I'm saying?
So,
They see
Yep.
rules of the game. Tonight, I am your host, take over Russ.
You good, G?
Yeah, I'm good. My bad. Go ahead.
You good. You was talking, there just an echo came in there.
That was my second video playing. But I think the same thing. Like I tell Daryl all the time, like, because I be dropping off kids and picking them up. And so it's just like, man, like y'all having kids and going way across town and buying kids snacks and buying us food and paying for jerseys sometimes, like that stuff add up because it's almost like if we did like, you know, if Jazik wasn't there or if we're not there, then who is?
Bro, I wouldn't have been hooping, bro. Like for real. Like that's just the truth. My mom would be like, yeah, coach gonna help you because I ain't doing it. If he really wants you, he gonna have to help you because I can't do it. That's how my mom be talking. My dad too. So, nah, man, we just can't do it. Your sister, your brother, little sister. It was 4 of them under me and 2 of them older sisters, and everybody needed stuff. You know, everybody, especially back then. Like you said, money was different back then, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that made me, bro. That whole experience. So like the 5th grade year was cool. 6th grade year, I set the bench. Isaiah Thomas set the bench with me.
crazy.
We both used to ride the pine, bro. Like me and him to this day, we see each other like, dang, bro, look at this. Look at what we did. Like, I remember me and him one time we sat at the end of the bench. He was in 5th grade. I was in 6th grade. I never forget it, bro. It was a tournament at Franklin, a big tournament at Franklin. And I rolled the bench so much. And I was like, bro, I ain't never, ever, ever sitting on this bench again, bro. Like I made a promise to myself. I was like, bro, all right. And I looked at IT and we was mad because we was losing. So me and IT, first of all, we hated to lose, and we was riding the bench. So you got 2 of the guys with the biggest hearts just sitting on the bench, and he was like, bro, why coach never play us? Why
You
coach
talking about
never
this
play?
team right here?
Yes, that team right there, bro. But this team right here, this is later. This is like 7th grade. This is like 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade. This right here, IT was in 6th grade. If you look over there in the bottom left, IT was in 6th grade, 5th grade. No, 6th grade. We was in 7th grade. Everybody else was in 7th grade. So that's IT in the bottom left with his earring in. Najee, because he was just on the squad because he was Vaughn.
Because his dad.
Yep. Pooh Williams. Ernie
Williams.
Ernie Williams was cold. And then you got the kid, the other light-skinned dude. His name was Andrew. He was a real tough dude. He had Sean Tinney with the headband on. He was the point guard. And some of these guys was real developed. I couldn't believe how some of these dudes how developed they were.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Jenkins, number 7, he was all left-handed. He actually really ended up being a really good player in high school too. You had David in the back, Rodney, Scott, and then there's Mecca back there. And Mecca and Isaiah Thomas was in the same grade. You had
Right.
Coach Rodney was his son played in the back. Coach Will, rest in peace, he just passed away last year. And then Jazik in the far right, and then Gary Ward in the back left. And that man, bro, like, you know how sometimes people talk about like going through tough things. Like I know some of your story too, C. Russ, about how, you know, like you don't quit. when things aren't in your favor. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember how when you had transferred to Renton and then you came back, and it was real hard for you trying to get back in and you grinding and trying to prove like, man, you know what I'm saying? But you never ever quit. You was invested. You knew you couldn't. Your body language had to be right. Yes, coach. No, coach. Other guys are just like, man, you know, they just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the same thing, bro. Like on that team right there, that molded me, bro. That molded me. That squad right there molded me into who I was. And yeah, bro, that made me tough. That team right there made me real tough. So after this year, this was the year I actually like took off. Like I kind of started to see the gains of me working on my game. But before the year before this, I didn't really play. They just put me on the bench, frustrated, angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is whack. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hoop. Didn't want to go to practices. I was like, yeah, but I didn't quit though because I really love the game.
Did you playing for Ice Vibe and being from Tacoma, did that help you shape like what high school you wanted to go to, or did that like make you want to go to high school with some of your fellows from that team, or did you kind of want to sketch out your own path?
Nah, bro. I didn't know how. I didn't even have predetermined, like I didn't have no agenda. I never had an agenda, bro. I never in middle school, I went to Washington. So I'm on this team right here. I'm in the 7th grade. I'm at Washington Middle School, bro. And I grew up I live in the South End. I was catching the bus every day to Central, bro. That was torture. I asked my mom, why did you do that to me, bro? Got me going to a whole nother.
Ron, I remember like it was yesterday. You walked up to me and was like, I'm going to beach, Sid. I'm playing varsity as a freshman. And you got a smile on your face. And I'm looking at you. I'm like, this crazy little guy. You got a ball in your hand. You actually used to carry a ball, like the same ball, like for a long time, right?
Man, biking the ball, bro. And I was trying to find any court to hoop at. Over there on Othello, at Emerson. Bro, I don't know. I just love basketball, bro. I was always just had my ball with me and my bike. And I never wore my shirt. And I was fat. I used to be riding around with no shirt on with a ball tucked between my legs at the park, had my chain on my bike. That was it. I didn't have no cell phone. Some of the stuff could have happened to me. I think about some of the stuff I was doing, catching the 7 and 36 and 42 to try to catch runs. Yeah, bro.
The universe move away, man. When you love something, the universe is going to drop from the sky. And that's where those rides and stuff came from. And the this, the that, like people see, something in you and what you're doing and how hungry you are. And that's how you made it so far, man. It's like you start loving
bro,
it so
I swear.
young.
And I wasn't the most athletic, bro. I was not. Still to this day, even when I played pro ball, I just got smarter and I learned how to use my legs and how to use my body. Like I could barely dunk as a pro, and they put me. I got in the Hall of Fame, bro. I wasn't coming down windmilling on dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't doing that. Like even in Nebraska, I think in Nebraska I probably dunked 3 times, bro. If that.
Your IQ always helps you out. You play crazy defense. Defense will keep you on the court,
bro. That's the other thing I learned too. Like just being I got out of that. I'm just a shooter thing, because when they try to label me, that's what I did on the court. But I make sure I competed. I make sure I play defense. And playing defense ain't nothing but I learned from my boy D-Dub.
What up, D-Dubs?
D-Dub used to play defense.
Yeah, what up, D-Dubs?
And me and him was slow. He used to be like, Ryan, your feet like mine, bro. We got to play the angle. So that I learned like stuff from him. Because we was playing on the team. You had Roderick, Lodrick. You have even in middle school, these dudes. Mecca was dunking, bro. Mecca was coming down. He was in a high school dunk contest in the 7th grade at Rainier Beach.
He was.
Wearing his IB shorts, the shorts from that picture. He was wearing them big baggy shorts and some shoes some size 16s in the 7th grade, bro, coming down. He's only in the 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I was in the class. I was in the stands like, dang, I ain't got a chance if this. I don't know if hoops for me, bro. I always kind of second guessing myself, but I don't know, man. I just never had an agenda, bro. I never had an agenda about where I wanted to go to school. I did see Jamal Crawford play at the Kingdom in the state championship, and I saw what he was doing with the peel, how he was dribbling that ball and just hitting dudes like, I said, oh, whoa, this is different. You know what I'm saying? And they won the state championship, and I was like, oh, and this dude off the chain. And the whole team had the crazy 8s. I'll never forget that, bro. The whole team had on the crazy 8s. Some had on orange ones and some had on blue ones, and they had the blue in their shoes, and they had them jerseys, bro. Them jerseys, the ones that's retired. He had them nice with the crazy eights. And I said, man, I want to be like, bro. I wanted to be like him, bro. I seen how he was dribbling that ball. I said, yeah, I want to go to this school. That's how I knew I wanted to go to Rainier Beach after watching Jamal play in the state championship at the Kingdom.
Yeah, shout out Mall C.
Yeah, big shout out to Mall C. He definitely
opened a lot of doors.
Opened doors, influenced us all to play basketball and to really
Jamal
play
Crawford, aka the governor, bro, the mayor. I call him the mayor and the governor. That's why.
No, facts. And so before we get too deep into that, back to kind of, with your ball and your bike, riding it around the neighborhood, people know who you are, living right up the street from Henderson. You can just Google Henderson. South Seattle is one of the most dangerous corners in America. How would you say you kind of kept it separate, man, from the streets, from the gym? And were there any like temptations for you maybe to go the opposite way?
Most of the kids I grew up with in that area, like I was telling somebody the other day, man, I was like, I actually knew young fella that I just been having some trouble in the league from Rainier Beach, Kevin Porter Jr. I knew his dad. Like his dad used to be at the park. He had the runs. He had it cracking, bro. I'm talking about. It was like the movie, like Boys in the Hood. Like when he jacked Tommy on and took his Dayton's at the drive-through. It was like that up at Emerson, and they had all their jewelry. I remember I used to go up there, and there was this one dude that looked like Kevin Garnett, bro. I swear, I thought this dude was Kevin Garnett, but he wasn't Kevin Garnett. He's just some 6'7" black dude with chains on. They was all hustling, doing their thing,
right,
and just trying to do their thing or whatever. But bro. The cats like that, like growing up there, like seeing that stuff and like product of my environment, and yeah, bro. Growing up in Seattle, that vibe right there, just yeah, bro.
So you saw examples of what you didn't want to be, pretty much.
Absolutely. Like one time, our house got shot up. They shot up our whole house. Yeah, bro. There's so much stuff. Like we would sit in the living room, watch TV. Somebody came by and just sprayed the whole house. Wow. My dad grabbed us, threw us on the couch on the floor. And I was like, Dad, what happened? I was trying to go outside, call the police. Police put up like crazy, took the dude to jail. He stayed outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? And seeing people, like just people were selling drugs already. You know what I'm saying? It was crackheads walking around, you know what I'm saying? Crack. We grew up I was born in 87, so like in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You seen that whole vibe. It was like, man, bro on something. He different. You know what I'm saying? And like, okay. And then like your different friends, you know how like sometimes your friends can influence you. Like you go over their house, you see how they move, and it's like, oh, bro, this is different. You know what I'm saying? He don't live with his parents. He live with his grandma. And Granny ain't really watching him. So he really broke his job. He had his own demise. He making his own choices, and ain't no father in the house. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed to have a mother and a father, bro. Like that. Even just that concept, you know what I'm saying, having a mother and father in the house, even though it was real different and dynamic with my dad being a Caucasian white man, my mom being this black lady, and they total opposites. Like that still had a role to play. Cause my mom wouldn't just let me do certain stuff. They was on me different than some of my friends. Like you can't go there, you can't spend the night over here. Who gonna be there? It was, and then we was going to church all the time, bro. We was in church all the time.
You was going to church all the time, for sure.
My parents kept us.
You was definitely going to church. That's the big fact.
Parents kept us in church like heavy. Like we was in church like 5 times a week, bro. I used to be at church like, man, you got to go to church, bro. Like, man, we be sitting there like, man, the game is on, all that stuff, same old stuff. But that I look back at it now, man. I think some of that saved my life, bro. It helped me like see stuff differently and be able to see maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead instead of making some decision like, man, I'm gonna just do this. He'd be like, nah, I ain't doing that, bro. Y'all got it, man. I'll catch y'all later. You at the park, you feel some vibe. You like, man, I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
No, I can appreciate that. I remember there were some things just talking like, bro, you should pray about it. And I just be like, man, what? But like you saying just those couple words about just, man, have you prayed about it? Have you talked to God? Was like just checking yourself, man, and just seeing, what your relationship is with God. I think that can get you through a lot. And some of the players that we've had on the podcast, they said, man, sometimes, man, I had to find God. Like being out there all alone, being overseas, being away from the family, or just being in certain situations, bro, you got to find out who else is with you in that situation.
Yeah. Hey, I got some more for you. Let's just keep going. I'll tell you. If you want to get into it, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what it is. Keep growing. Amen to that, though. That's 100%, 100% facts, bro.
No, okay, no, for sure. And so no, you end up skipping the streets. Saw how much what you did want to be. Big Sis, of course, keeping you out of trouble. But seeing Jamal Crawford had an effect on you, man. You end up going to Rainier Beach.
Hey, let me throw this in there. Y'all remember late night?
Yeah.
At Rainier?
That saved me, bro. Them late nights at Rainier was, and they had the food, bro, that was clutch. Like that.
Shout out
that
James Hampton. James Hampton.
Bro, that was so clutch, bro. Like from like, I think
For people that don't know what late night is, describe late night for people. For those who don't know,
late night was an opportunity for young youth. It was like from 9 to like maybe like midnight or 1 a.m, and they would even let the city bus run a little longer to take us home. Through the 7 would run all the way through the city, and there really no traffic at Friday at like 12. So the 7 would run and pick us up and take us home. But our parents would drop us off. There would be food there. They had computers. They had sports. They had stuff for the kids to do from 9 to like midnight. And sometimes we would beg them to like go a little longer, and they would stay till like 1 o'clock sometimes. And that went on from like, I think late night went on from when I was in like maybe 6th or 7th grade all the way to like after I came back from college. At least from what I remember, because after college, I was over in Europe. But like,
no, you're right, because I would come back wanting to go to late night, and it's crazy because they switched the whole situation. It's no longer like the little kids mixed with grown ass men coming in. They switched that whole dynamic. I'm pretty sure something happened, but like just that dynamic that we had back in the day was even beneficial for us. We got to play with the older guys.
Absolutely. So that had a big factor too on me, bro. Seeing Nate Robinson in person do all this crazy stuff that you've seen on TV, the twins, sometimes Jamal. Big shout out to Jamal Crawford though. Huge shout out. I just want to throw this in there. No, keep going. I'll wait.
No, go ahead. Throw it in there. Throw it in there.
Because you was about to get into the high school side of it, so I'll throw it in there.
No, go ahead. You speaking on Rainier. Go ahead, speak on it.
Yeah, so Rainier, Jamal Crawford, he started having like private runs for kids who had game. So like no matter where you were in the city or how old you were, Jamal started having them private runs. So like my freshman year, the Stewart twins just took over the scene. And to this very day, shout out to the Stewart twins, Bull Stewart, the whole Stewart family, rest in peace, Alan, everybody. Like they changed they took it to another level, bro. Like they came in, it was
put Seattle on the map in a different way.
Yeah, bro. It was, and I was so blessed to experience it all, like from behind the scenes to the newspapers, everything. I was like right there, like a little kid, like when Michael Jackson was in the room when Stevie Wonder was making songs in the key of life. He just sitting there watching Stevie Wonder, like that do something to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And Jamal Crawford had taken it to a level 2 to the point where like, we still had the Sonics. We still had the Sonics at that time. And like Jamal had these runs where it would be like NFL players coming in to get workouts, and then the Sonics players, Nick Collison, Luke Rittenauer, and Michael Dickerson, all these dudes, Will Conroy, shout out to Will, B. Roy, all these guys, and I was able to be on the court like with these dudes, like as a freshman, bro, like that. That to me almost made the NBA. It made the NBA closer. It was more tangible for me. Like that's what I was shooting for. I was like, oh, I can go to the league too. I'm in here hooping with Mike Dickerson, giving him I'm in 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? So like, just shout out to Jamal Crawford for exposing my mind to putting me around cats that was at the highest level to sharpen my skills against as a high schooler. If you sharpen your skills against guys at this level, you're not gonna get here. So to get here, you got to sharpen your skills with guys at this level. And that concept, Jamal opened that door. He opened that door. You know what I'm saying? Like even in this picture right here, Shelby, young fella, was in high school. When I came back, I was getting ready to try for the Lakers. I came back to visit my family, and Nate he was still hooping. Nate was like, Ryan, come get a workout with us on the late night because we can't beat you in shooting drills. He's like, bro, we need somebody that we can like actually shoot with because you're a drill. Bro, shooting, that's like my thing. And like Jamal was the same thing. And Jamal brought a different concept to working out. I learned something from him in the workout, this workout. And we used to work out all the time, but this one was special. because young fella, he was like, Maul was like, he got next. And Jamal was doing the same thing. Like he does this with all the young people, bro. So like, shout out to that dude for doing that. Like that young Shelby, he's playing for the Trailblazers, or I think he plays for the Trailblazers.
Their G League team.
Nah, he was in the league, bro. Like I watched him
Well,
play.
yeah, he got drafted. He got drafted for sure. He got drafted for sure. But I think he might be floating G League, or he might be still in the league
two-way.
now.
Is he
He
two-way
might be
now?
two-way.
But
Yeah, he probably two-way.
he got a swing at it. He went to Washington State, had a decent career, and like he played for the Trailblazers. And dang, that's that young dude I worked out with when he was a junior in high school.
Right.
So like that's a prime example in that picture of Jamal being Jamal. Like he did this for so many players, bro. Like he did that for so many players, and shout out to him, because for him, people don't know this, but like because of Jamal Crawford, I got to train with Ray Allen. Ray Allen used to teach me, bro.
Damn, that's huge. Yeah,
Bro,
if it wasn't
to this day.
Yeah, that's huge. And
Bro,
people like
crazy.
Jamal, I think, showed us in the town, man, how to really open doors, and how to send that elevator back down. There's a lot of cats, I moved to Texas, man, and you'd be surprised how much talent is from Texas, but you'll never see them around or really giving back like that, or just even like in the community like that for real.
Yeah, Jamal.
No disrespect,
Jamal,
but it just is.
Yeah, he did that. I just wanted to throw that in there because like he was a part of my journey as far as like exposing me to certain things.
Yeah, that's real, and no. Moss, he deserves every little bit of credit as anybody else. But again, he helped everybody want to go to Rainier Beach. So tell us about freshman year and being the only ninth grader on varsity for the number one team in the country.
Oh man, bro. Let's talk about the summer leading into that. So the summer leading into that, I was coming out of Washington Middle School. We won the championship, but at the time, I still was jockeying for a position to prove myself. So the coach, it was me, Jordan Daisy, Walter, over playing for Washington. And there was like a few other players on that team. I don't remember exactly who everybody was on that team was, but we were like the main guys. And the other guys were just like some guys that can like never really hooped, but was like athletic enough to like play. And we was hooping hardcore. So at the time, coming out, as you coming out of middle school, they start kind of your name start coming up as far as who's what and how good they are and all this stuff. So like, all I heard was nobody was talking about me. You know what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm like, man, and I really love basketball. So I knew everything. And I was one of those kids, if you said something to me, I would absorb it. You know what I'm saying? So like, in my head, I was like, dang, nobody even – and I knew it because, like, the AU team, like I said, I was on the bench. So these guys were starting in middle school. But I knew I was like, man, I'm better than these dudes. Like, I believed it, but nobody else believed it. There's a video I just saw of Kanye West. He was like, y'all might think I'm cocky, but, like, he said, you don't think I'm as good as Lauryn Hill, but if Lauryn Hill is good, you're going to say, yeah, of course, you can't be like Lauryn Hill. And he was like, how do you know? How do you know if I can't be like Lauryn Hill? Because once she's already done it, she's proven to y'all. So now you just agree with her. But when she wasn't up there, did you believe in her? So coming into Rainier Beach, I love Coach Mike. Coach Mike believed in me, bro. Like Coach Mike believed in me. That's Coach Mike, Coach Ron Howard, because Ron Howard was coaching Mercer. Or Aki Karosi at the time, or whatever it's called, South Shore. Yeah. He was coaching South Shore. So when we played him, we had played Terrence. Terrence was playing for Mercer. We beat them. This was when, you know what I'm saying, we beat South Shore. We beat the brakes off him. Coach Howard, and I was catching. I think I probably hit like maybe 6 threes or something crazy. And Coach Howard was like, man, what's your name, kid? And I told him who my sister was. He's like, oh, you Keela's little brother? And I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, man, we're going to be talking. Coach Howard was like, hey, you going to Rainier Beach. And he was like, and I was in my head, everybody who I was playing with was going to Garfield or Franklin. And my older sister, Deborah, went to Franklin. So all she was talking about Quaker this, Quaker that. And I'm like, man, that black and green and the Quaker thing, that's kind of dope. And they was a bigger school. They was a 4A school. So when I would go to the games and they had Skip and Aaron Brooks and these dudes, and I'm going to these games. I'm like, yo, these cats got man, and the gym was bigger than Rainier Beach, so I was kind of like thinking about, ooh, I could go to Garfield. My family, I got family that's right there. So if I need to go live with my uncle to go there, I can. And
use that address.
Yeah, use that address and then live. Actually, my uncle, I could walk to Garfield from my uncle's house, and that's what my little brother ended up doing. Austin, he lived with my uncle and then went to that school. And then I was like, well, Franklin is the cutoff for them South End to go to Franklin. So I was like, because my mom and dad was like, but my dad was trying to push Garfield because they had the music program. Acox had the band. My dad was like, you gonna go there for music? And in my head, I was like, and that's where my dad went too. He was like, man, he went to Garfield for music. And I'm just like, man, in my head, I was like, no, that ain't it. So Coach Mike got me to go to Rainier Beach. He was like, man, just come to Rainier Beach. And my dad was like, man, they don't got no books. My dad was kind of like, you need to go to Garfield. The education ain't really a big thing down there.
Everybody's mama was like, Rainier Beach ain't got no books.
No books is crazy.
Everybody's mom was like, you not going there. They don't got no books. And then
that's
they
the
did.
big lie.
They did. They was giving cats the paper, like the actual paper, like here the sheets.
Hey, they was killing all the trees, bro. We all had
packets. Killing all the trees, bro.
They had packets, man. And
we was for sure killing hella trees. That's a fact.
So Coach Mike, I ended up talking to Coach Mike, just like in conversation, like in passing, because of Ron Howard. Coach Ron Howard, one of the GOATs. Shout out to Coach Ron Howard. And Coach Mike was like, hey, man, I believe in you. I believe you can go as far as you want to take this game. He said, son, but you're slow. This is what Coach Mike said to me, son, you're slow. You got to get faster. And y'all know how Coach Mike talk. I don't want to imitate him because everybody be making fun of how Coach Mike talk, but he be talking real. He told me straight up. He said, you're too slow. You got to get faster. So you got to work every day. He said, you're not as gifted as other guys, but you really love the game. You have a flow for the game, and you can shoot the crap out the ball. And you have a high IQ. We can work with that. And he said, you're the best player in the state of Washington. Coach Mike looked me in my face, and when he said to me, I said, Coach, you really believe that? He said, I know it, man. I know it. He said, I know talent when I see it. You're the best player in the state, and I want you – it'll be an honor if you let me coach you. Those are his exact words. So I go, I'm going to the beach, just like that. I told my dad I went home. Hey, Dad, I ain't going to Garfield. I told my mom I ain't going to Franklin with my sister. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to Rainier Beach. I want to be a Viking. And I'll walk to school. It's right down the street. It's 5 minutes. It's cool. My dad, he was against it or whatever. And my mom was like, my mom's like, I'm cool because that's where I went to. So cool. Rainier Beach, baby. And so she was just all that. So then I went to Rainier Beach and I busted my tail. And so coming in, this team, you know how like teams really work. Now that I know how they really work, they already kind of knew how the team was going to form out. You know what I'm saying? Like
in the summer.
Yeah, they know how coaches already know what kind of team they're going to have based on who's enrolling, guys they've been trying to get to come in that district and all that stuff. So when I got there, everybody, they thought I was a joke. Like, they thought I was a joke. There's upperclassmen. I ain't going to name no names. I didn't like them, bro. Like, they know who they are. And I ain't going to blast them. I could. If they was on here, I would. But I ain't going to do that because they're not on here. But it made me strong. So it was like, I ended up putting these chips on my shoulder, and I would knock them down. Like, I would just like, if I had a target of people, how they doubted me, I would attack it. Like, I would just attack the target. Like, oh, they don't believe. I'm going to make them believers. And they was like laughing at me. Like, people literally laughed at me. Like, I was going around like, I'm going to make varsity, bro. I'm going to make varsity. And after I already experienced all this stuff with AAU coming off the bench and all this stuff, I was like, I don't even care. I really love the game. I'm going to stick through it for whatever. So, lo and behold, I busted my chops. Like, I really busted my chops, bro. And I made varsity. And Coach Mike was like, you made varsity, you're going to swing. You'll play 2 quarters here, but you're going to play 2 quarters down there. And that's kind of how that started. And then I didn't even understand how everything worked. Like, I really didn't understand how everything worked. I was really naive about it. And that's me over there. See, I know I did a post the other day about 44, but I couldn't get the cool numbers because I was a freshman. So you had to wear some junk. I was wearing number 5. I don't even know what that number is. But shout out to everybody in there, man. David, Matt Fields, that's Buster.
CJ,
D-Hub,
AP.
Chester, Giles, all of them. They all in there. Allen, the twins, Terrence. Those my brothers, man. Once you kind of go through the fire with people, them pictures, man, they let me hold a little trophy and a net thing. I said, man, my dudes. Matt Dance, best screen setter I ever played with to this day.
Facts.
What are some of those rivalry games that you played in? Maybe give us one or two that you played in, man, at the Valhalla.
I think it was always Cleveland, bro. Cleveland. it was another rival was it was like three of them. It was O'Day, Seattle Prep, and Cleveland.
O'Day was a real rival.
Yeah, they because at the time they had a nice little squad. They had Lindell Burleson. They had some cats that could ball. The Burleson brothers, them cats, the Burleson family had super athletic dudes. Mm-hmm. And at the time, basketball was really popping. There was a lot of players. You had Marvin Williams, you had Marcus Williams, you had Terrence Williams, you had these guys. You had Garrison Carr.
Oh my God!
You had these cats. Yeah, he had that L. He had that L shape with his
goggles. Remember the goggles, Ryan? The goggles.
Man, you had. It was like these guys there was some guys that was really invested in the game. And you had Martell Webster, Spencer Hawes, Martell Webster, you know what I'm saying? He went to the league out of high school. He's 6'8", you know what I'm saying? Like these guys was playing, you know what I'm saying? We was playing against these guys, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was like my freshman introduction to the squad kind of.
Yeah, between Seattle Prep, O'Day, a good Cleveland basketball game. That's enough rivalry right there.
Yeah, Cleveland. And it was like Cleveland was like, we never took them serious, but they always like they either beat us or like Cleveland that year messed up our number one in the nation ranking.
Yeah, they beat y'all
at Cleveland. We came straight back from Houston, had like 3-4 days of rest. We had a light shoot around, light practice, and them guys came out flat. And Keenan.
Nate Jackson.
Nate Jackson. That was my pastor's son. He was 80 Miles was training these guys. 80 Miles senior. Jackson, rest in peace, Marcel, Keenan. These cats they beat the number one team in the country, bro. They beat us. They beat us by like 5 points. And it was a packed house. Everywhere. Hey, that's my freshman year was when I saw Go Shawty in the club. We gonna party like it. That's why I remember jogging out and almost falling on the moisture on the slip on the floor when we jogged out at the beach because it was so packed and it was like standing room only. I was like, oh, this is it right here for real.
Yeah, that's dope. And I remember going to some of those games, man, and being in attendance at some of those and those standing room only games don't happen as much as it used to.
Nah, it ain't like that no more. Cause I don't know what it is. Cause there's more social media. Maybe it's that. I don't know. Cause I used to be the kid. I was that kid in the stands watching Jamal, watching Doug Wren, watching these dudes, bro. Like watching these cats that had game. Like I don't know. There's a lot of young talent out here, like these guys that had game, but like I don't know. It was special back then. It was an honor to grow up around that time to me. So that was kind of like my first.
It was more authentic. It was more organic. Because you play with kids that you grew up with. Now kids is getting shipped out, brought in.
It's politics.
It's a lot of politics now.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, if I was a kid, like for example, my son, I'm in Nebraska. I mean, the platforms are two different platforms. Not that kids out here ain't got no game. Because I go to the games out here, bro. These kids got game. I'm like, sure. Like one game we went to Bellevue West versus like Miller North. These cats, it was packed out, kind of like beach. They had like 3 guys. One of the dudes a starting player for Wisconsin. He started playing off for Wisconsin, Chucky. And then it was like this other kid. He's like Gonzaga. He's like 6'4". He was out there. He was like Jamal. He had like a little game, like and he was shooting fadeaways. He had this mid-range. He had this Rip Hamilton like little mid-range pull-up game. He get in the paint. Wow. I said, yo, this cat got game. So I was like, oh man, it kind of reminded me. I was like, dang. So, but when if you took one of those kids from that school, put them at Rainier Beach, now it changes. You know what I'm saying? Like the platform that once you switch out of this Omaha market, that's the game it is. Like you talking about markets. That's like if you took a kid and took him down there and put him on Mount Verde. You put him on one of them Cali teams, you put him on one of them Houston teams, and you actually hooping and you like doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to reclassify 10 times like OJ Mayo and them guys used to do back in the day.
Right.
I think I played against OJ Mayo and he was old. He was 5 years older than me, and I still ended up playing against this dude. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just talking about the market, like cat switching. I would do it. Like my son, I would take my son and I would send him. I would go right up to Seattle and he would stay with my mom, his grandparents, and Coach Mike would coach him.
Well, I mean, it's that serious. And for the people that took it that serious back then, you know, they are where they're at now. For those that didn't, you know, they're kind of left behind the 8 ball. And I think more what you're seeing now is that parents that used to play kind of know how the business of it works. And so now they're just kind of putting their kids and children in better positions to win and succeed.
Absolutely.
You know, so, but you know, when you coming in, you know, in those rivalry games, you know, being picked up by Coach Mike, you know, him blessing you, and seeing you all the way through your high school career. Tell us a little bit about your recruitment and how you ended up at Nebraska.
Man, I just talked to Coach Mike not too long ago. I called him and told him, you know, sometimes like when you in it, you don't really appreciate some of the people on your journey, bro. Like Bull Stewart, the Stewart twins, they dad owned the gym. He was a bodybuilder. He was a superstar. He had all the plaques on the wall, you know what I'm saying? And Coach Mike told me I needed to be better. So he opened up the gym for me, and I went and lifted weights and worked out with the Wells brothers. And then there was another trainer that they had in there, and I would go in there every day. Shout out to them too. The Wells brothers used to be on my head in high school. They was on my head. They love Rainier Beach. They diehards. Aaron Wells and James Wells. The Wells. Is it Aaron? No, it's James.
My brother's name is Aaron. The one that played football was Aaron, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was the little brother. He played football, but Matt Wells and James Wells. Yep, they was a pivotal. They were a honest voice of criticism. Like, nah, bro. Like I remember James Wells told me, he said, Ryan, you don't know how to chop your steps up. That's what we talking about. He said, bro, when you run, you like a gazelle. Your legs are just long. You just trying to run, trying to keep everybody. So you got to learn how to chop your steps up, bro. You got to chop your steps. So we just work on chopping my steps, plyometrics, jump machine, Vertimax. That thing you get on like LeBron, like he used, and you climbing that thing, and Bull would have a son there. We doing abs. This is all before school started. I was going in there at 5 o'clock in the morning to the point where my dad started coming to work out with me. He's like, bro, what are you doing in the morning? I said, Dad, I got to work out, man. I'm not as strong as these other dudes, and if I want to be good, I got to actually work on my body. You know what I mean? So I actually put myself through a little bit of suffering. But Coach Mike and they're like, yeah, bro. Sorry. So what was that question again, though? I just had to shout out Coach Mike and Bull for actually giving me a chance to use his facility, and he never charged me, bro. Like, he never charged me to come. He said, if you come work out and you be here in the morning, you could work out for free. That's what he said. So I would go in there and do it. I was the only one that went in there. Not one other person came, bro. Not one other athlete came in there, bro.
He's seen it in you. Bull seen it in you, man. That's what it was.
Yeah, shout out to Bull Stewart and his family, bro. Love them guys. Plus, he's my sister. He's my sister. Goddad. So.
Did all that help you, like, and prepare you to go to the next level?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Being willingness to receive criticism, because they was always on me. Can you always imagine hearing somebody say you're too slow?
Right.
Too slow. Not athletic enough. Too slow. Can't jump. You know, can't dribble. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. So like I spent most of my time being coach, being coach, and Coach Mike's coaching style was real tough, bro. You had to have tough skin. You had to be able to take, you know, his passion for coaching. You know, Coach might get up in your face, he's spitting and stuff, but you know he mean it, he love you. He coaching you hard in practice, like really on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this dude's on my case. Stop. What did I say? You know, he just constantly just boom, 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 boom.
He's not like that no more.
He's not like that no more.
I mean, you've been to the practice, haven't you?
Coach Mike was on their head.
Oh, was he?
He was on their head.
The one practice I was at, he was laughing. He was like, man, go back over there and do it again. I said, damn.
He probably changed a little bit, but these cats are different too, though. These
Kids
are
are different too.
Yeah, they not. He can't take off his suit and throw it on the court and be crazy and maybe not everybody got that nice little look that the NBA coaches got. Everybody got the nice gear from the team and Nike and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. But
Coach Mike used to say, I'm preparing you for the next level. I'm not necessarily preparing you to go for high school basketball. And I think he did prepare a lot of us to go on to the next level and have success with the way his practices was ran.
Hey, Coach Mike would do that for anybody that walked in that door.
Mm-hmm.
If you said you wanted to hoop, he would do it for you. And he was investing, he was serious, he would do it for you. Like if he was investing, he was willing to pay the price and take the coaching, come stay after school, go to study hall, do everything that it was required to do. He treated you as if he was like he was in the fraternity, the brotherhood.
Did this team have a lot to do with you going to Nebraska?
Nope, had nothing to do with it.
Really?
Yeah, the way I got to Nebraska. So me and Coach, that was a question. Me and Coach Mike was talking about how I ended up in Nebraska. He's like, rah. I talked to him the other day because I went to visit and everything. I came to visit, brought my kids to visit my parents not too long ago, probably about a month and a half ago. And he said, man, you sure messed that up. I said, I know, man. Now that I think about it, Reggie Theus was recruiting me real hard because he was recruiting Terrence heavily, Rick Pitino in Louisville. So they were trying to get me to go to Louisville with Terrence. Reggie Theus was, but then Reggie Theus had an opportunity to open up for him. And we were just laughing because Coach Mike was like, man, you could have been a national recording artist. He brought the owner of Sony to visit me, bro. Man. To try to get me to go with him to where he was best friends with the owner of Sony. And when the owner of Sony heard my music, he was like, hey, man, we can work something out where if you come to school with him, you know what I'm saying, we could figure something out with your music. And at the time, I didn't know what I wanted to – I knew what I wanted to do, but I was just like – I don't know. I was kind of torn, bro. I could have went to Gonzaga. They was on me heavy as a sophomore. Coach Bennett up at Washington State. I would have ended up playing with Klay Thompson and Cleaves and all those guys. But his dad was the coach at the time, and I didn't really believe him. I was like, I could have went to Oregon. Ernie Kent was the coach at the time. Yeah, so I don't really want to share how I got there. I'll tell you a little bit. I don't want to, get in trouble or nothing like that. I don't know how many people are gonna watch this, but so the way I got there, Najee's dad, his best friends was really close to Kyrie Irving, his dad, Dred Irving. They were like brothers. So Jazik was like my goddad. He was always kind of there for me. And like he was my coach, but ended up like really looking out for me. And throughout the relationship I had with him, I became really, really close to Kyrie Irving's dad. Kyrie was like a little brother to me, and still is. Very close. Like when he came up to Seattle to play in the Pro-Am, I put all that together. That was all me. I just connect. I told Jamal, he's like, yo, you really close with Kyrie? I said, yeah, he's like my little brother. I'm really close with his father. Like, we're like family. And Jamal was like, how? He couldn't fathom it. And I was like, well, it's crazy. I know he's a superstar now, but he's always been like a little brother to me and his dad. We just been close. There was never no agendas. Nobody knew he would turn out to be a superstar. I just loved him like a little brother. And that's kind of how that came about. But his dad was best friends with the assistant coach from Boston College because his dad played at Boston College. His dad played pro basketball too. Mm-hmm. So they was recruiting me, but I didn't want to go there. They was on my case, like really on me before I knew he was best friends with Kyrie Irving's dad. And then I kind of told Coach Mike, I was like, yo, and there was a few things that factored into my choice. I felt like the Big 12 had better players. If you go back and look when I was going to
the Pac-10 or the Pac-12,
yes,
you're right.
At the time,
you're
Kevin
right.
Durant. So I was really following on. I was kind of basing it off my career in high school, and I was watching them. So I was like a McDonald's All-American nominee, but I didn't get picked. They take like the top how many ever guys, but I was like the two. I was always just like right off the list. It was like, oh, Coach Mike came to me, he's like, yo, Rod, you average the right amount of points, but they made you like an honorable mention, and they put you like as a what's that thing that you like a not on the bench, but like they make you like if somebody gets hurt, it's like I forgot. I can't think of. Are you reserve? You were reserve McDonald's American, but they didn't give me the tag, but they said I was reserve. And then even for the Jordan Classic, it was the same thing. And then in the Adidas stuff and all the stuff they was giving out to people. So I didn't get no nomination thing. So I was like, I just came off the circuit. We beat me and Isaiah Thomas, Spencer Hawes, Mecca, Ernie, Nate McMillan's son, Jamel McMillan, and some of these other guys in here, D'Angelo Jones, like a lot of these guys, we ended up beating Ty Lawson, Kevin Durant. We ran the whole circuit, bro. We ran it down. Nobody was messing with us. And this is right after we just beat them. And then right after this, me and Kevin Durant had a shootout. We beat the Brook Lopez brothers, San Juan King. We beat Quincy Poindexter. He played with the Lopez twins. Those three was on the same team. We dogged them. So right after we beat Kevin Durant, we beat them. And Coach Haskins, Jim Marsh, shout out to him. This was a good experience for me because of Coach Mike gave me the opportunity to be playing at Rainier Beach gave me this chance to play on this team because I had struggled finding the right AU team to play for. I didn't want to go play for Rotary because it was too much politics with the guys they was trying to give opportunities to that didn't have a good high school platform like I did. So I was like, man, I can't really go play for Rotary. I don't want to deal with the politics and cats not passing me the ball and looking me off and thinking they better than me. And they already still thought they was like better than me. Because they all on the Ryan they remember was from middle school, so and Coach Mike when he put that battery pack of belief in me, bro, couldn't nobody tell me nothing. So that kind of catapulted me. So on this circuit, it made my stock even go higher. And y'all wouldn't believe me, but I could have went to UCLA, USC after this circuit right here. And beating Kevin Durant, this guy, they're like, who is this dude? And I was just making a name for myself. I was doing my thing. I was balling. IT was hooping too. He was killing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a starting point guard. You know what I'm saying?
He had to have been hooping because he went prep school after this, didn't he?
Yeah, he went back to Curtis and played the senior
He did go
year
back
and lost
to
the
Curtis.
state championship against Peyton Siva.
He
but
did.
Then after that, he reclassified. And then he went to like Connecticut or something, and then reclassified one more time, and then he came back to University of Washington, and then he did it that way.
He did.
He took a long route.
That's when him and Jordan Daisy got the one little picture of him trying to dunk the basketball.
Yeah, he was coming in trying to.
He's kind of like that.
Red shoes
with the red shoes. Yeah, with the 21s on, the all red 21s.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's kind of how I ended up in Nebraska. It was more so my relationship with Kyrie Irving's dad and his relationship with the assistant head coach, and I trusted that. And to be honest, Coach Mike. I trusted Coach Mike too, but when I was really looking at it, I felt like Nebraska would have gave me the biggest stage. Kansas, Texas A&M, all these big schools, and Nebraska was kind of like knocking on the door. And the coach I got recruited by, I didn't end up playing for. They ended up getting let go because they wasn't having enough success. And at that time, I could have transferred back too, but I didn't want to. I was like, man, I'm gonna try to make a name for myself out here, and try to really carry this whole program. That was my mindset. So that's how I got to Nebraska. And looking back at it, man, I really was tripping. Maybe Gonzaga, USC, UCLA. We played in a tournament. C-Rest. Remember, we played in. We lost to up in Magic Mountain. We lost to the Lopez brothers and Quincy Poindexter. Because they played on the same high school team, but they played on the same AU team too. But we lost to them barely. We almost beat them, but I had like 36. And we come back there, and I was just like, man. And the head coach for UCLA walks back there and is like, yo, man, I want you to come play with me, man. I would have been playing with Westbrook and all them dudes. I would have had a chance, man. Who knows? I think about that all the time, but at the end of the day, man, I rest in the decision I made. You know what I'm saying? Like Nebraska – some people thought it was stupid, but it is what it is.
You did it your way, bro.
Yeah, I did, man. And my parents was kind of like, my dad wanted me to go to Old Dominion, and he was serious about messing with Reggie Theus on that Sony stuff with the music. He was like, man, you can go to New Mexico State and with the coach and Sony. You gonna be the Sony, the owner of Sony? My dad could not get that out of his mind. He's like, what? Like he was
Sony is
tripped out.
huge. Yeah, like
Bro,
they
he was
own
tripped.
Michael Jackson music, Whitney Houston music, like Sony, like Prince, like Sony is huge. They're still active to this day. Like Sony is huge. So yeah.
My dad was tripped out about that. And my mom
Yeah.
loved Richard Theus because he's 6'8" and he had green eyes. He had all his hair. He was a handsome dude, bro. My mom was like, ooh, my son need to play for you. She was talking crazy on the recruiting stuff. But it was a great opportunity for my family to really, even my mom and dad, to experience some of the blessings that the game had brought me. My dad never came to a game until high school. Never talked to a coach, never talked to nobody, never argued about my son playing, never did none of that. I told my parents, don't ever do that. Don't ever embarrass me. If anything, if I'm on the course, because I earned it. Like, I don't want you coming there and being like the parents, like, my son should be playing, and the parents will never come to practice and trying to pay the coach off for the kid to play. And I might have to practice, like, your son really weak. He not like that. He don't love it. He don't even want to be here. He's only here because you're making him. Like, I'm here because I want to be. I'm here by my own free will. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's how I ended up at Nebraska, man. And Coach Mike was disappointed in me. He thought I should have went to like Oregon or like, and I thought about transferring too. I actually thought about transferring back to the Pac-10 after my first 2 years in Nebraska. I was like, man, I don't know. I got caught up in something. You know what I'm saying? And UCLA coach tried to warn me. He's like, yeah, they about to fire your coach. He came in the locker room and told me that in Cali.
At our tournament.
Yeah, he was like, yo, they about to fire your coach. I know you committed to him and you're a man of loyalty and all this stuff, but they haven't been really honest with you. He straight up told me that. I looked at Coach Mike like, man, I said, hey, Coach, I'm going to mess with you. I'm going to holler at you, though. I'm going to talk to and Coach Mike's like, all right, we're going to get back to him. And then I called my coach on the phone, like, right there. Picked up my phone. I was like, hey, Coach, man, is it true? Like, you getting fired? I said, I'm in a tournament, and the coach from UCLA just told me you getting fired. No, man, I'm not getting fired.
Wow.
And as soon as I stepped on campus after like 3 weeks, he got fired.
Ben Holler was at our games. He was front row. That was the same
tournament. He was looking at the Lopez brothers. He was looking at the
James Harden was there with Artesia.
All of them. Yeah, he was getting loose. I got loose. I gave him 37.
Facts.
Like, the people don't be believing that stuff, but he was like, I can't guard him. I know you can't guard me. I was like, that's what at that point I had already realized. I was like, can't nobody mess with me, bro. I done been trained by some of the greatest players I've ever seen in my life with the Stewart twins and being around these guys and all of the what's the word I'm looking for? All of the disappointment that the game brought me. I weathered it. Like, people saying I'm not good enough, sitting on the bench with Isaiah Thomas, like, and then I ended up growing to be like 6'5", bro. That changed it a lot too. I was like 6'2". I was kind of chubby, and then I said, ooh. But my body grew so fast, I still was slow. I didn't really know how to, like, then I was having ankle problems because I grew too fast. Like, yeah, bro, that made me, bro. But Nebraska, that's why I picked Nebraska, bro, because I felt like I had the best talent. Like Texas Tech. If you looked at the Big 12 back when I was in college.
No, that was good competition. Baylor, Texas Tech, Texas, Kansas State. Who else? Like Nebraska.
Yep. Iowa State.
Iowa. Like, them was all good games. Like, he wasn't wrong for going.
Texas
I seen
A&M.
Yeah.
Middleton. I was cooked. Bro, Middleton was guarding me in college. I'm out there with Middleton going back and forth. Middleton, I'm hitting 5, 6 threes. He's hitting like 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was DeAndre Jordan as a freshman, AC Law. Yeah. I was playing, in my opinion, bro, I was in the toughest conference in the Pac-10. And I was cool with that. I like relished it. I was like, yo, yeah, I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here with these killers.
What was the best part about you being at Nebraska?
I don't know. Nothing really. Ain't no cap with that part. It wasn't nothing special about it. Like, it was just the opportunity. Like, that's a big word to me, bro. It was the opportunity to carve out my own space for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, ain't nobody else from Seattle except Tim Ellis came out here. I mean, like what Jalen Stewart lost son went out to UConn, bro. The last person to go to UConn from here was he got in trouble from O'Day. Doug Wren.
Oh, yeah.
He went out there and got in trouble and had to come back.
And go to UW, yeah.
But name somebody else. Name somebody else.
UCLA either.
Did it?
They didn't. That's what I'm saying.
No, they didn't.
But yeah.
But name me some Seattle cats that left and did something like that.
A lot.
Not out east or like
went to the East Coast or perform.
I'm talking about for basketball. Like name somebody from Seattle for the hoop that went to like, okay, you got Ponchero, he went to Duke. Okay, cool. He was already
He's
already
an
locked
anomaly.
in.
Yeah.
He on that Braun. He's in that Braun conversation.
Yeah, he's
like
different.
Just because of he's 6'8" and his ability, but like
he's different.
I don't know. I just saw opportunity to really carve out my own.
Well, did you go into Nebraska help your overseas?
Actually, it hurt my stock, bro. It hurt.
It hurt your stock?
It hurt me. It hurt me because of the way the coach used me that got hired from the one that got fired. The one that got fired and let go, Kyrie Irving's dad's good friend, Scott Spinelli, who was the highest paid assistant coach. Good dude, bro. He had some talent, but then they fired the whole coaching staff. And I had a choice to leave, but then nobody wanted me. So then, not that they didn't want me, but like, they was like, you had a chance to come and you didn't come. Now you got to come earn it. Like you messed it up. You know how coaches be having vendettas against players? And now,
I told you.
I told you so. You should have came, but I didn't want to. I was like, bro, I made my choice. I had to live with it. But now it's not a thing anymore. It's like, yo, come play for me. You could transfer. I got the NIL money. Come play. It's a different conversation now.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I was in Nebraska after my freshman year, they would have been like, yo, come on, Romar, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever. You know what I'm saying? And I had a big chip on my shoulder, bro. So like coming out when I came out of Rainier Beach my senior year, I really wanted to play for the Huskies, bro. I really wanted to play for the University of Washington. And when they didn't want me or they were trying to recruit, I don't know what it was, but we just couldn't click up. Like Romar, Cam Dollar, I don't know what it was, but like they didn't really show a lot of interest in me. And or at least the interest that the other schools were showing. You know what I'm saying? And so all the players that the tournaments I went to, because you know they had like last chance tournament, they had the tournament, the what's the thing down in Virginia? It's called
the Peach Jam.
Not the Peach Jam. It's a thing for seniors for the NBA scouts come and they watch you.
Oh, the top 100.
Nah, it's not the top 100. It's I can't think of it. It's only for juniors or seniors.
Not the future stars.
It's called Portsmouth Invitational in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay.
And yeah, bro. So the Portsmouth tournament, like I made it a point to kill I put that I
you talking about for college juniors and seniors?
No, high school.
Oh, okay.
Going to college. So like if you're a senior in high school, there's like 2 or 3 more tournaments you can go to like give yourself some stock against some other players that's trying to jock for a position to get these coaches to give them a scholarship. And there was this dude from California who was 6'6", he could dunk a little bit. And I was like, yo, you going to University of Washington? We in an all-star game. This was in Portland. And Coach Mike got the film. And Coach Mike, I said, Coach Mike, I asked Coach Mike. Coach Mike always had the Nikes. I said, Coach Mike, I need a crazy pair of Nikes, man. I'm about to go put on a show down here. He said, yeah, right. You know, I got you, bud. He come down there with these Vince Carters. He had these Vince Carter shoes that wasn't out yet. Coach Mike always had exclusive stuff. And so I said, Coach, I'm about to go crazy in these. Thanks, man. Now I needed some hoop shoes for real because my other shoes was trash. I said, Coach, and he came down there right before the game. I had been warming up in some busted shoes, and they gave us some N1s or something. I was like, I'm not hooping in these, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Nike school, all this, you know what I mean? I put the shoes on, and I went and looked at the dude. I said, Coach Mike, you see the dude right there, Coach Mike? He's like, yeah. I said, he going to UW next year. I'm about to kill him. Like I said, he don't know the targets on his head, but I'm about to send a message. And then, so I went in that game, bro, and I went nuts. I think I had 45 points. And then they came and interviewed me. I got to find a picture somewhere. My stuff is in storage, but I wish I had it. My grandma kept track of everything. My dad's mom kept every single thing. I got pictures of everything. And I put in the article, they did an article, and I said, yeah, man, University of Washington really messed up. That's exactly what I said. I said, that's the guy they picked over me. That's what I said in the article. I said, well, if I just gave him 46, he ain't going to cut it up there. That's what I said in the paper.
Who was it?
I forget his name was like Garcia or something.
Yeah, you didn't have a good class.
Something Garcia, and he was the same class as me. And I was like, "That's the dude, bro. They picking this dude over me." And
because after that class, like Abdul Gadi and them came in, then he kind of got back right.
Seth Tarver, the Tarver brothers out of Portland, they was all in this thing too, and I was killing them, bro. I was on their head.
Sad.
I was on their head. And guess who my point guard was?
Who?
Don Cheadle.
Really?
Out the CD, yeah, he was my point guard.
Mm-hmm.
He played in the All-Star game with me. They picked like a few of us. We was in the same class. And I said, "Yo, Donnie." I said, "Bro." I went to Donnie before the game. I said, "Hey, bro, you want to have like 20 assists?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Bro, give me that pill. You come down." I told him straight up. I said, "Bro, just find me, bro. Just find me." I said, "I'm gonna go crazy. You're gonna have 20 assists." And I said, "You'll have a double-double. Easy."
Mm-hmm.
I had like 46 points, and Coach Mike was like, "Yo, Ryan, you really put on a show." My family was going crazy. They was way up in the top. It was packed. And I was just like, that started it for me. I was already on one, bro. So coming out of high school, going into Nebraska, everybody was already laughing at me and like, "Oh, you went to the wrong school, da 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 da," or whatever. In hindsight, they kind of might have been right because it messed up my opportunity. But the coach that was recruiting me, he was bringing me in to fill in for this dude they was going to let go because he wasn't. His name was Joe McCray. He was averaging like 18 points a game in the Big 12 for Nebraska, but he would never come to practice and stuff. So they essentially like, "Yo, Ryan, we're going to plug you into that position. You could average like 20, and then you could do like 1 or 2 years and go to the league." That's what they was literally doing. But then they fired the whole coaching staff. So then I got this coach who don't even know me.
That hurts. But
like that.
As you transition from your collegiate amateur career, you head into pro. What was life like making that transition?
So my senior year, me and that coach, we was pretty much bumped heads because he didn't know what he was doing. And terrible coach. 15 guys transferred in my 4 years. And I helped him get I actually tell him, I said, "Man, I should tell him you're welcome." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Man, you got an extension because of me or because of the guys on this team. Like, you got a contract extension." I should talk. After I realized it was business, college taught me that it was all business.
Mm-hmm.
It was all business. So they trained me because my heart was so pure with the game. I love the game of basketball. But when I got to college, I said, "Oh, this is business. They don't even care about me. I'm just another number to them." So I said, "Okay, it's every man for himself." Literally. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is how they're gonna treat me. Treatment. They don't care. You got to take care of your own body. You name it. Even the clothes they give you, the shoes and gear. Here's your number. Here's your shoes." It was just like going to like the experience to me was like, I realized it was business. And at that point, you're not in charge of me. When I realized that, it was like, this is I'm subcontracted to come perform here. That's how I looked at it. It was like, there's an exchange. You're not over me. You're my coach, but we work together because you need me. That's how I looked at it. And I didn't used to look at it like that. And then once I realized that, I was like, "Oh, this is straight business." I got even more freer. My mind went freer. It's like, also by my senior year, me and the coach was bumping heads. I disagree with a lot of his play calls, how he overworked us in practice. I'm like, "Yo, man, I'm chilling, bro. I'll put the ice on my knees." Like, "I'm not practicing today." "What do you mean?" He's yelling at me. I said, "It's cool, bro." I said, "What, you gonna cut me, bro?" By the time I was a senior, I was telling him, "You gonna cut me, coach? All right, don't play me. Don't play me. You're gonna lose by 50 instead of 12." That's how I was talking to him because the relationship, there was no relationship with that guy. He didn't believe in me. He didn't believe in nobody in our team. So by my senior year, I didn't care. I had got married my junior year in college. That changed me as a man. Like, as a man, it was like, I gotta take care of my family, bro. So now we a junior, and the coach drawing up plays for freshmen. I'm like, "Yo, bro, hey, scratch that. Draw it up for me, bro. No disrespect. He got 4 years. Draw it up for me." And I already paid my dues. And I've been killing. And I work out more than him and all that. I ain't getting all that, but draw it up for me. I come out to play, hit the shot, bam, look at the coach. "Thank you. Thank you very much." You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. I know, young fella, you mad at me, but wait till you a junior and he's drawing on plays for freshmen who ain't putting in the same work. You'll feel the same way. Don't worry about it, bro. It's nothing against you. It's not personal. Plus, I'm married and I got I got a wife, and I'm trying to build my family. I'm trying to build my legacy. I'm thinking about my future. I'm thinking about when I'm 50, when I'm 60. I'm trying to establish that. And at that point, it was no games no more. I looked at him like a man. I was married as a junior, came in my senior year, and I was on his head. I was like, there was one time in the game, I was like, bro, take me out there. We was just bumping heads, and my teammates kind of felt me. It was like I was tired of his coaching style. I was tired of how he treated the players. I was tired of all the good players that transferred and left. So then that right there prepped me for pro ball like no other. Like that experience with him. And to be honest, man, that stuff in Nebraska almost broke me though. If it wasn't for my dad making me stay, I tried to transfer after my freshman year. I hated that coach. Like I used to cry in my room. Like, man, I was so mad at this dude. And he didn't believe in me. But all the stuff I had been through kind of made me like not care. It was like my middle finger was to the world, bro. Like I don't care. I'll go out guns blazing. I'm gonna go out like what I do. This is who I am. And like what really messed me up too was seeing Roderick in college. That did something to my spirit, bro. Like nobody knew how great that dude was. Like I told you, I had a backseat to Roderick and Lodrick's experience in high school, but to see the chairs kind of turned when he was at Kansas and he had transfers from USC, I was playing on the court and he didn't even play. Like that messed me up, bro. I was like looking like, and Rod was sitting on the bench and I could see it in his eyes. I was like, bro, I said, Rod, I see you, bro. I was cooking Julian Wright on Big Monday, killing this dude. I swear. And I looked at Rod. I said, Rod, I know who you are. I just had to yell it out. They don't know who you are, but you one of the greatest players ever, bro. And they was looking like Mario Chalmers started laughing. Mario Chalmers, I was like, bro, you really weak. I said, nigga, you from Alaska, nigga. You used to come hoop. I had to call him out. You used to come hoop with us in the game. I said, yeah, you might be on a good team with like 6 big men that's going to the league, bro, but you really hiding behind them. Like I was talking to him like that. I said, Roger better than you, bro. I said, that's the politics of this stuff. Don't think that just because he's on the bench, he can't hoop. Rod came in the game, tried to take off from the free throw line. They put him at the end. He got the ball and was like, he did that stuff they be doing. Boom, trying to throw the ball off the backboard. He said, bro, I said, that's the big homie, bro. I said, that's one of the, and I had to educate people. I took pride in that was Rainier Beach. That was my big homie, bro. Bro, if y'all go back and look at that, when they had that thing when LeBron talking about it was just a game. If you look, Roderick and Lodrick Stewart's right there with LeBron James, dog. Like that's
right.
Anyways, so yeah.
I mean, even then, guys like Aaron, hopefully get Aaron on the show too, man. Him and LeBron was on the same team during the whole All-American week as well.
You said Aaron Brooks?
Aaron? Yeah, because he's from the West Coast and they had Cleveland in the West Coast, but they had put Aaron on the East Coast team in an All-American game because he was killing. Him and LeBron was killing so bad on the same team. I said I could see that happening.
Yeah, AB was cold too. Oh man.
Yeah, that's a different
I played
story.
Against AB my freshman year. We played against Oregon. I had like 29 as a freshman. Mm-hmm. I had 29. AB, he went nuts. And after the game came to me, I remember, man, it's crazy. After the game, AB came. He's like, bro, like, dang, I didn't know you was that cold. He came in there and dabbed me. I didn't know you was like that. And he was a senior. I was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Came down there. I was just at the Rose Garden. Anderson with another one. Who is this freshman? I'm like, bro, yeah. But to answer your question, like my senior year, look at Tim Ellis. Shout out to Tim Ellis, bro.
Tell us the significance of this picture.
Man, this was a big picture for me. So this is my first. This was like, what year was it for me? Let's see here. I went to Germany, the Netherlands, went to the D League. This is like my third or fourth year playing pro ball. And this was my first year playing in the capital of Canada. And Tim Ellis and his brother, Big Ro, shout out to the Ellis family. His sister used to coach the girls' basketball team in the Rainier Beach. Him and his brother was like big homies to Jamal Crawford, around the same class or a little bit older than Jamal and them guys. But they used to come back too. And I remember one time I was killing in there, and Big Ro had came back from overseas. Roselle Ellis, his big brother, and Tim was playing with them. And Big Ro was built like Suge Knight. Imagine Suge Knight as somebody like action figure body, left-handed, had like this Anthony Mason type shot, and was cashing, bro. I was like, this dude, who is this dude? But we ended up beating his team in the pickups in Rainier Beach, and I was talking trash, and he told me, say, hey, man, I've been listening to you talk a lot, bro. You say one more word, I'm gonna knock all your teeth out your mouth.
That's Ro.
I looked at Coach Mike. I said, Coach Mike looked at me like, better shut up. So I was quiet. And Tim came to talk to me after that run. I was like, yo, man, that's just my big brother, bro. He kind of crazy, but you really got game though. He respects you. He's just mad that you beat his team or whatever. But Tim
Zell is
Ellis,
crazy.
yeah, he's crazy, bro. But
He
he's a
is.
good brother, man. He just
sure.
hardcore, just old school. You know what I'm saying?
Real
And
talk.
Tim played at Rainier Beach with Jamal Crawford. So he played with Jamal Crawford. So I grew up watching him at them games at the Kingdom, Tacoma Dome, all that stuff. He was there, bro. He was playing on that team. And for me to play against this dude, bro, he was guarding me. Like, I was out there playing pro ball with him, and I was like, I caught the ball, and I had like 30. And nothing against bro. Like I would talk to him, but he wasn't really like a two guard. He was an undersized 3-4 that had like this mid-range game, like little fadeaway. He had a nice post-up game. And he was playing, that team he was playing for was Michael Ray Richardson's team. The one that played in the NBA and they did that whole story on him and all that stuff. Like Michael Ray Richardson was his coach. And but he looked out for me, bro. Actually, got his information, stayed in contact with him from playing in Canada, but he played at K-State. He was the only other player to kind of come to the Big 12. Him, and then we played overseas together. And after the game, we lost the game by like probably like 6 points or something. And after the game, I just told the coach, I said, hey, man, can we bring it in real quick? I know you about to roast us and we got practice tomorrow. But I said, my big brother's out there on the other team, and I want to go take a picture with him. You know what I'm saying? So after the game, I ran out there. I actually went and knocked on Michael Ray's door to get him to come. I said, man, tell Tim to come out here. And they was like, man, we having our meeting. I said, man, you niggas won, bro. Like, we're seeing bro out here. That's my big bro. And we hugged each other and we talked. And he was like, hey, man, it's nice to see you doing your thing. Like, he's like, bro, you're going to have a great career. And he said, it's cool up here. And it's good money. We just talking about being in Canada. This was my first year in Canada. And I was kind of making a name for myself. And I did, man. I ended up being on the all-star team and winning the three-point contest. And took the team to the playoffs, but we lost because it was really just me. And then after this year right here, Jaren Jackson Sr. was my coach of this team. And I was about to get signed. I was about to get picked up by the Spurs, but then I hurt my ankle. I messed up my ankle real bad. This Ryan right here, that was NBA Ryan right there. That was like Spurs, Danny Green. Like, I was at the pinnacle of my career, like right here. And then after I got my ankle fixed, I got back to this level, but I had missed the window of opportunity. I was trying out for the Lakers when Kobe was there, mixed cup check. Like, I tried out for the Lakers, tried out for the Clippers, I tried out for the Knicks. This Ryan right here. After this year, I went right from Canada to all the NBA opportunities, and people were saying, you can't go to the NBA from Canada. Bro, if I didn't hurt my ankle, I would have signed. I would have been in the NBA.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that picture, man, it seemed like it was yesterday. That's crazy.
Shout out to Tim Ellis, man.
Man, Rainier Beach, K-State, Big 12.
Spider-Man. I call Spider-Man. Call Spider-Man. That's my guy.
Man, super athletic. The homie, bro. Big Tim.
So from being your rookie year playing against your idols, you know, when your idol become your rivals type vibes, how do you end up, you know, your last year ended up in the Hall of Fame?
Oh man, that was a journey, bro. Oh my God.
From one Ryan to the next. You were two different cats right there, man. You was two different guys, man.
Yeah, bro. I went from and in the summertime I still would go back to Seattle, and I mean, to be honest, man, I think I just kept sharpening my skills, bro. And I just stayed. You know what Nipsey said in his song? He said the difference between me and you is that I never quit. I think that was the only difference, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't. There's no formula to say, like, by the grace of God, that too, because I think the favor of God got to really play a factor in your life for certain doors to open and certain doors to close. And at this time, I realize I'm gonna share some stuff with y'all that's kind of deep, bro. Because the hoop thing, all this is great, bro. Like, all this is amazing. The Ryan I was when I started, and this Ryan you see right here, I think the most important thing is I was a better man.
Yeah.
Like, I was a better human being by the time I got done. Like, I was a better husband. I didn't have any kids yet, but in that picture, I had my son. So my heart had changed. Like, I never had kids, and once my wife had my son, my heart like kind of changed a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. It was like the love of being a father took the place of the game. And my homeboy, who was my best friend, who rest in peace, my homeboy who was like a rookie I took under my wing. He passed away. He drowned in the river like a year and a half ago in Lake Lanier in Atlanta. But he had game. His name was Dorian Pinson. And after like I had my son, one of the practices, he said to me, he's like, "Bro, you different, bro." And then I was like, "What you mean?" He said, "Bro, you're not the same Ryan. Like, you don't care. You don't care no more." And I said, "What you mean?" He's like, "Bro, you ain't like fired up like you was." And I said, "Yeah, bro." I said, "I think I want to retire." So I was kind of battling retirement. I was like, "I don't really care. I don't care no more." The game, I said, I did everything except playing the NBA. And I said in my mind, "Bro, I'm better. You could drop me in the league right now. I average 15 points a game. You put me out there with Braun, bro, I'm shooting, bro. I'm gonna average like 14, 15 points. I'm gonna average 5, 6 fouls a game, probably 3, 4 assists, 2 steals, and probably maybe like a Draymond, maybe 1 or 2 techs a game. I might be getting suspended and stuff. Like I'm just being honest, bro. Like I already know, like once you free your mind, like in the Matrix, bro, there's nothing. And I put so many hours in, bro. Like we started doing shooting drills, I might miss my first 8 or 9 shots, but I'll probably make the next 70. Like for real.
I just didn't quit. Say it again. I just didn't quit.
Yeah, the only difference between me and other cats is I stayed the course.
Come on.
I didn't quit. I didn't quit. I didn't quit in the adversity of when I was in middle school and I wasn't the best player. I didn't quit when I wasn't favored, but somebody believed in me. But I still didn't quit. I didn't quit when my parents didn't say I didn't have the right coach or this or that. And I didn't quit when my friends was like, "Man, you a punk because all you want to do is hoop and this and that or whatever." And I didn't quit in college when the coach didn't recruit me. I didn't quit when I maybe should have picked a different college. I didn't quit, you know what I'm saying, when, the coach was like, "Well, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I stayed true to the game, bro, like for real. And I grinded harder. Like when I was playing after I got hurt my ankle and I played a whole season on extra strip Tylenol, I probably just ate up some lining in my body, bro, doing that because my ankle hurt so bad I could only pop. For me to play, I had to take 2 extra strength Tylenol 25 minutes before every game, just so I played through injuries. I played through broken noses. I played through MCL sprains. I played one time when I was up in Seattle. Me and Terrence was working out, and I was in college, and we was hooping 2-on-2, and I slipped on some sweat and sprained my MCL, bro. Like almost tore my whole knee off because I slipped on some sweat. We was playing with our shirts off. Me, him, Chester Giles, somebody else. It was 2-on-2, and we was going at it and tried to hit Terrence with a back door, and he gambled and scratched me. T's nails was too long. He never cut his nails. Scratched my whole chest. I cut back door, and I slip on the sweat, and bam, hurt my knee.
Man.
I started the season. I was like a month. I was like two months behind. I was out there wearing that Chris Bosh knee brace, bro. I was out there wearing a Chris Bosh knee brace, trying to hoop. I said, "Oh, this ain't it." I didn't quit then. I didn't quit when I sprained my ankle. I didn't quit when coach got fired at the pro level. And the pro level was even more ruthless.
Right.
I remember we had an 18-0 season with a coach. 18-0 regular season, and we lost 1 game in the playoffs, and they fired the coach in the playoffs. I said, "Whoa, he must have robbed the owner or something. He must have talked to his woman or something. He must have did something else. Like he can't just. Who was 18-0? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't quit, bro. And I really love the game. I was blessed to play for a great coach who played in the NBA. Shout out to Bill Jones, who taught me. Shout out to AJ Guyton. I played for AJ Guyton. He helped me with my first professional championship. He played for Bobby Knight. He actually played with Jamal Crawford, I think.
Rookie year.
When they was in Chicago. Yeah. AJ Guyton came out of Indiana. He played for Bobby Knight. He was a big time collegiate player. He's my coach.
Class act for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. AJ Guyton, great coach. Won a championship with him. And then he referred me to Canada. And then I ended up playing for Bill Jones. Won a championship with him. And then I ended up playing for the same team that Tim was playing for. Won 2 championships there. And then I got finals MVP there. We broke all the records. I got my name all up in those rafters up there on those banners. I got championship rings. But the main thing I wanted to say, bro, is none of that mean nothing to me. This might sound funny, bro. I worked my whole life chasing that ball, chasing this dream of the NBA. And it wasn't only until I won my second championship, or not my second championship, it was probably like my fourth or fifth championship, that I realized that I said, what am I doing? Because like once I had reached that pinnacle, I couldn't come up with no other reason for me to keep chasing it. It was like, all right, I was stuck in my life, not in the game. I was actually in the highest pinnacle in the game that I was saying, like I was at an NBA level and I knew it. Nobody could mess with me. But I wasn't happy in my life. Like my life was shaky. As a husband, my relationship with my wife wasn't good. There was a lot of death in my family. So I was away from my family overseas and I couldn't come back for funerals. People was dying. My grandfather, my uncle, my grandma, people was passing away, and it was really bothering me because they played a role in the death of some relationships too. Like I don't know, I was struggling, bro, and to be honest, man, I realized that none of that really mean anything, bro. That's why I think some players struggle to find who they are as a man, as a person outside of basketball.
It's so weird, not to cut you off, but I think it's glad that you're getting to this point because I think this is what the little homies really need to hear is that you can spend so much of your life chasing a dream where you could have been a great engineer or a great rocket scientist and really came up with the cure for cancer. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, but just there's so many other things that we could be in that majority of our little brothers are all trying to play basketball. But the key is when they flame out or when it ends, they don't know what to do.
Hey, listen, even right now, I got homeboys that's like my age. They're still trying to hoop.
Right.
Or they're older than me. I'm like, bro, you gotta let that thing go, baby. It's time. It's time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Man, one of my homeboys said, how? Like, how did you just stop, bro? I said, well, something else took the place in my heart. And I realized it. It was when I won my last championship. I was so depressed, bro. I got the MVP and I was just like this ain't it.
Damn.
It took me that long to get to, and I'm grateful. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the game. I love the game, everything. I believe God used basketball as a vehicle for me to find my wife. It was a vehicle that kind of just took me different places to make some of the best relationships, even the people in Seattle. Like all my experiences, and it took me to a place where I used to like have this thing where I didn't like people that didn't believe in me. Like, oh, they didn't believe in me, so I don't like you. But they may not have known that I didn't like them because I used them for fuel, but it was in an unhealthy way because I didn't know any better. I didn't know how to compartmentalize it and be like, that's okay if people don't like me, but like you don't have to hate a person because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't got to be mad at them. They don't know until they know, and then when they realize and they give you your props, like, damn, bro, you was killing. Like I didn't even know you was like that. Da, 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 and you make them a believer. But like when I got to the point where, bro, I was a great vet. Like some dudes would have loved to have me as a teammate, bro. I was have them over for dinner. We read books. We talking. Like I would ask him, hey, you got any entrepreneur opportunities? We live in a time now. You got social media. Cats got clothing lines. Hey, are you putting your eggs in some different baskets? How's your relationship with your family? Do you have any family? Do you have any kids? I didn't even care about hoop like that. I really cared about the relationships of the people I was talking to, or the people I was playing ball with, or the fans I was interacting with, or the owners I was playing for. Because to me, ball, I had reached a level. Ball was so easy to me. I knew, bro. I was like Tom Brady with it, bro. I could see the plays. I had played so much basketball. I would call out plays before they came. I knew players' tendencies. I'll be in a game with a dude, and I'll yell out his combo. Hey, yo, watch out for the 2-dribble step to the left, bro. Stay down. We in the scout report. I'm like, I'm yelling this stuff out in the game, in the finals. And yo, watch him. Here he come. He gonna kick his leg out. Take a charge. Boom. Take a charge, dude. And the dude was like, how'd you know that? I said, bro, I studied you. I know every move you're gonna do. Like the coaches, I would know when they would try to change a play call from this, and they used to be called head. They would rub their shirt. I'm like, hey, bro, here come the alley-oop. Watch the live. And the dude would start running, and they'd be like, and my teammates used to be like, bro, how do you know? I said, bro, I just know it, bro. Like, but none of that mattered to me no more. As I got to the level where, like LeBron and these guys, I could kind of maybe empathize with them, not at the NBA level, but on a pro level, just playing pro ball for a living. Once you reach a certain level, bro, what are you playing for? Like, for real. Like,
Right.
what am I playing? Like, my records, I had so many records. I was in every single category. I led the league. I'm an all-time leading rebounder as a guard. Second all-time in scoring. Steals, I think I'm second or first. Assists, I'm second in assists, only to like one of the greatest point guards I think I played with in that league. He was like from New York, Clifford Clinskills, crazy game, little short point guard, high IQ. Shout out to him. You name it, records for stuff in the 3-point, man, everything. I was really just playing to raise those categories where people couldn't get them, but I didn't even want to play no more. If it wasn't for my wife, bro, I would have stopped playing in like year 9, year 7. I told her, I said, I don't think I love the game like I used to no more. But she said, you already came this far. You got to finish what you started. That's what she told me. She said, you already came this far. You got to finish. So I didn't quit.
Any advice to the young guys that might be wanting to play pro? Of course, it sounds like don't quit and always persevere. But anything besides that?
If you're not able to pivot, you'll never make it. If you're not able to expand your game, you'll never last. And if you can't take hardship, like when I say hardship, I mean like you can't go home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so small, but when you're 15 hours away and you can't go home and you got a game on Christmas Day, you can't go home for New Year's. You don't speak the language. But they got social media now, though. I was over there when Facebook had just took off. Like, they didn't have FaceTime. So things may be
Easier.
some things that were obstacles. Yeah, it may not be as difficult. We didn't have no Siri translate what he's saying, and they would talk to it. And we didn't have all that. Like, but the game is still going to present obstacles. But if, I would say find your meaning, find your identity. Try not to put your identity in basketball. Basketball is a tool. That's how I would say it. Like, it's a tool, and it can bless you and bring you many things, but don't put it on a pedestal, man. I think I did that too much, and I feel like one of my biggest – I feel like, to be honest with you, basketball, I took the place of God in my heart. Like, for real. Like, I put it on a pedestal, and I shouldn't have did that. And a lot of the hardship that life brought through sports, it was almost like I felt like God was saying, like, are you done? That's kind of how I felt, like, honestly. Like, and I was like, you know what, God, I am. I realized there's no championships I can win that'd be ever enough. And I was tired. I felt like that little voice inside of me to prove everybody wrong who didn't believe in me in Seattle, or people who didn't think I was good enough. I felt like I finally wanted to turn it off. Like, that little voice was like, I know they watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, through social media, or they like, dang, Ryan really over there doing this thing. Like, I feel like I'd had enough of that invisible voice. Like, for the people who, like, you know how you say you're worried about people who aren't really talking about you or whatever. But in Seattle, I do know that basketball world is real. That's a real thing. Like, they obsess over hoop. So, like, I knew they was watching, and I really wanted to make where I came from proud. Like, I'm so grateful to be where I'm from and grew up how I grew up. And I wanted to carry this city where I grew up with honor. Like, where I was in these countries, like, I really wanted to represent, even in Nebraska, like, even to this day, like,
We was watching, Ryan, via Facebook, bro.
Yeah, I know Catch was watching, man. But
I see it. Every time he post something up, I'll be like, that boy over there working, man.
Yeah, grind. I devoted my life to it, man. And, like, I don't know, man. Sometimes when you get in something, you get stuck in it, and you don't know what's going on, bro. Like, you sometimes you lose your way, but if you really want to do it, man, nothing's impossible to you. I would say keep God first because He's the one that makes it all possible, man, for you to run and jump and use the God-given abilities that God gave you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, that championship right there, I was depressed. Almost about to get
Slick.
divorced.
Look at the outfit, man. Look at the stool. Look at it. Look like money.
Yeah, we was getting it, buddy. We was getting that moolah.
But nobody knew that you were going through it, though. That's crazy. Looking at that picture, you look so happy, bro. I'm glad you shared that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's how I said. I was like, because people can fake. I was doing all the fake stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like, as soon as I walked off, I remember this championship, all the confetti, they was cleaning it up, and I went back out there with the owner, and he had gave me this Letterman
blazer,
like this, blazer. I still got it, and as soon as I walked out of there, you know, we was drinking and partying, and I was just like, bro, I was like, do I want to keep playing, and do I want to stay married? And me and my wife was kind of going through like a rocky place, and my family and my life too. Like my family was like, man, you ain't been around, you ain't come back for the holidays, you never here in the summertime, you only come for like 2 weeks, and like life was like pulling on me, bro, like for real. And that was almost like 2017. COVID happened, like what was that, 1920?
2019.
Yeah. So that was like 2 years. I wanted to quit playing, bro. Like I actually wanted to quit hooping. Like for real. That in that
So
picture, I was like, I didn't.
Did you retire? So you retired after this, or 2 years, or a few years after this?
COVID. I used COVID as my door out.
Wow.
We was gearing up for the playoffs, and we had a squad. So me and the owner of this team, who's a billionaire, we couldn't come to terms because I didn't like the direction he was taking the team and what was going on, and the league was kind of like in a shaky place too because people were like not making as much money for ticket sales, so I told him, I was like, hey man, these are my terms. This is what I want to do. And he's like, and I was trying to get into coaching. I told him, I said, hey man, just hire me as the coach. This championship, the championship, we won another championship after this. So I won another championship. But I pretty much coached the team and helped carry the responsibility as a coach and like a GM. Like when people were there trying to trade players away, they would come talk to me first. And I'd be like, no, we need bro. He's a championship guy. He may not do anything right now. It's not about stats, but when we get in the trenches, he's gonna get us out, you know, in the playoffs, and we need a player to come off the bench and he'll make it happen. So stuff like that. They were really trusting me. So I was like, why don't you just make me the coach or like the GM or something? And then he was like, no. I was like, I didn't want to play no more. And so I was like, well, it's cool. So I packed my family up. We was living in a nice condo downtown and everything. And we had moved there because I was going to settle there. And so I packed all my stuff and we went back down towards Detroit, which is Windsor. It's like right across the bridge. It's like going to Mercer Island to the south there. You just cross over that bridge to go over to Mercer Island.
Yeah.
That's just how far Canada is from Detroit. And yeah, man, we settled there, and then right when we was getting them for the playoffs, we was making a real big push, and we was fighting for like first place in the league. And and I was already kind of struggling because you know how you deal with teammates and all the drama of a team season. And I was like, man, I'm older than the coaches, and I got more experience in championships. And I was like, you know what? And then COVID happened, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm done. I was waiting. I'm out. I was like, I felt like God, like that was an opportunity for me to be like, you know what? Cool. It gave me time. That was a perfect time. So after that, I told my wife, I was like, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. If we're gonna move back to Seattle, if we're gonna move back to Nebraska. At the time, we was thinking about moving back to Seattle. They had all the police station got occupied and took over. I was like, man, they can't even keep the police station straight. I don't know if I want to move there. You know, Cash is wild, Seattle. So I was like, So we decided to come out here just to kind of buy some time, and then I ended up getting a real good job selling cars, man. So I was just like, yeah, we just gonna set up here, and I'm gonna just see where it go from here. And then that was it, man. I haven't officially announced my retirement, but because coaches still call me, but I'm like, nah, I don't play no more, bro. I just hoop like I'm that Bally's Total Fitness dude. I'm that LA Fitness all-star now.
Yeah, it'd be like that, but when your heart is full and you felt like you've accomplished everything you set out to do, I mean, there's not much more left to prove, man. And I think, but you feeling that way, like you feel like you proved yourself, and I think you've done that over time. You come back in the summer, burnt it up, plenty of accolades. You put in the record books in a lot of different leagues, man. So I mean, like you were saying, besides the league, I mean, shoot, what else can people say about it?
Yeah, what else could I do, man? And yeah, I felt like I had maxed that out, and yeah, bro. So I was like, they still call. I'd be like, nah, man. I get messages from people, hey, man, and I even laugh at it. I was like, yeah, and I wish I would. I wish I would put my family through all that stress. And if I get injured and checks ain't on time and
Right.
they messing with, oh man, I wish I would deal with all that. But God took care of me though. I ain't gonna cap, man. It was a great experience. I made some of the best friends. Like I got people all over the world I could call. If me and my wife just flew out tomorrow, we'd be cool. We wouldn't have to get a hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like I got people I call family now. Like rest in peace. I called her like my grandma. She's the first one to hold my son when he was born. She was Canadian, bro. She took me in like a grandson, like for real. Yeah, she was Sharon Hall, man. She rest in peace. She passed away right when we left. We moved back to Nebraska. She passed away right after. You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
No,
yeah, man.
we appreciate it, Ryan. You definitely came, man. You came into the league as a rookie, man, but you left a champion, bro, and put your name in the record books, bro. That's all you can ask for, my boy.
I appreciate you, C. Russ. Man, I mean, we got some stories, man. Late nights, stargazing, pause, just dreaming. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out how to make something out of our lives, our young lives. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to find our way. You know what I mean? Like if I could tell something to them young people, man, like don't give up, man. Like, and don't be afraid to try something different. Like you said, like engineer. Like I never would have thought of something like that. But to be honest, I didn't like school, so like I didn't want to. School was whack to me, bro. It was so bad. It's probably bad for these young kids. You know what I'm saying? And then all the stuff they got to distract them. We didn't have as much distractions. We had distractions, but not like this, man. They got this Instagram. They got OnlyFans. They got the music's crazy.
TikTok going crazy.
Oh my God. They don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in school. They got these AI technology, just chat rooms. They got cats is getting in trouble for letting Siri do their homework and stuff. Like, man, I couldn't imagine being young in this generation. I would have been utilizing all of it.
Facts. We made it work. Spark Notes, Ask G's. You know what I'm saying? The whole night was going down, man. So yeah, so don't play. But Ryan, man, we don't want to take up too much more of your time, brother. But man, we appreciate the conversation, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, and you tapped in with the Gurus, brother, and we appreciate that.
Man, I appreciate you for even considering me to even share my story, my little journey, man, with this on your podcast, bro. I appreciate it. And I hope your podcast go crazy, bro. Like, I'm be supporting, following. Said, appreciate you, man.
Love,
appreciate
bro.
y'all even being on here, man. Let me come on here and talk and probably talk a little bit too much, but hopefully chop it up and make it look all cool and get some good stuff for the social media, bro.
No, facts.
Keep doing things your way, bro. Stay strategic and yeah, I appreciate the story, bro, and the motivation to that you're putting out there, bro. Good people.
Yes, sir, man. It's all love, man. I got nothing but love. What would Tupac say? Nothing but love for you.
All right, man. Nothing but love for you, man. And thanks for everybody for tapping in with us tonight. We got a lot of likes, a lot of love. Pretty sure we got some questions on the book, man. Ryan, we got tapping with you in the spring or the summer, man. Catch up on some summer hoops or something like this. Check in with you, see how you doing.
For sure, man. Love y'all, bro, for sure. That's always, man. Love to.
And for sure, well, thank you for tapping in. Worldwide, thanks for tapping in with us. As always, stay out the streets, stay in the gym. Until next time, we'll holla.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
All right, man. I'm going to go in here, man. I got to get ready for church in the morning. I got to run the music department for the church.
You're going to get dunked on. You about to go get dunked on.
Hey, there's some young cats in there. Hey, no, don't get it twisted. Hey, I came up there. Hey, I got that dad belly, but I still got a little game in me.
For sure, Ryan. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. See, Russ, man. Tell you, hey, man, be nice to your homeboy, bro. Man, he was hurt, man. You subbed him out. You hit an exec move on him.
Hey, man, I pressed that button again. And you know what I'm saying? But we'll tap in.
Oh, y'all be cool, man. Hey, send me the you gonna chop this up or you gonna like what you gonna do? You gonna chop it up? Send me whatever you got and I will put it on my stuff.
I got you, G. We got some good stuff.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man. God bless.
My
Bro,
family.
be safe.